Title: The Secret of the Cursed Mansion. Chapter 1. The Invitation. For over 100 years, Blackwood Mansion stood alone on top of Raven Hill. Its broken windows stared across the valley like empty eyes. The villagers believed the house was cursed. Every family in the town knew the same terrifying story. Anyone who entered the mansion after midnight never returned. Some claimed they heard screams coming from inside the walls. Others swore they saw lights moving through the empty rooms. But no one had ever discovered the truth. One rainy evening, investigative journalist Ethan Carter received a mysterious envelope with no return address. Inside was a single photograph of Blackwood Mansion. On the back were only 7 words. The truth is waiting behind the red door. Ethan had spent years exposing frauds and fake ghost stories. He laughed. Another haunted house. Another local legend. He packed his camera, voice recorder, flashlight, and notebook before driving toward the forgotten town of Hollow Creek. The closer he came, the darker the sky became. The rain grew heavier. The GPS suddenly lost its signal. Even the radio turned into loud static. When Ethan finally reached the town, something felt wrong. The streets were completely empty. Every shop was closed. Every window was covered. An old man sitting outside a tiny grocery store watched him silently. "You must be the reporter," the old man whispered. Ethan frowned. "How do you know?" The old man slowly smiled. "Because the mansion always chooses someone." Before Ethan could ask another question, the old man handed him a rusty iron key. "You'll need this." "What does it open?" "The door that should never be opened." The old man stood up and walked away into the fog. That night, Ethan climbed Raven Hill. Lightning flashed across the sky. For the first time, he saw Blackwood Mansion standing before him. It was enormous. Its towers disappeared into the storm clouds. Dark vines covered every wall. The front gate slowly creaked open by itself. No wind, no sound, just silence. As Ethan stepped inside the property, he noticed footprints in the mud. Fresh footprints. Someone had entered only minutes before him. He followed them to the front door. It was already open. Inside, an ancient grandfather clock suddenly began to ring. 1, 2, 3, until it reached 13. Then, the front door slammed shut behind him. Ethan turned around. The door had vanished. Only a cold stone wall remained. Far above him, someone laughed. Title: The Secret of the Cursed Mansion. Chapter 2. The Whispering Hall. Ethan stood frozen as the laughter echoed through the mansion. It was not loud, but it came from every direction at once, making it impossible to tell where it had started. His flashlight flickered. The beam grew weaker, then stronger again. The air inside the mansion felt unusually cold. Every breath formed white mist in front of his face. He slowly turned around. The hallway behind him stretched much farther than before. The entrance he had just used had completely disappeared. Only endless darkness remained. Trying to stay calm, Ethan switched on his camera. "Day 1, he whispered into the microphone. "I have entered Blackwood Mansion. The front door has vanished, and I may not be alone." Suddenly, a child's voice answered. "No, you are definitely not alone." Ethan spun around. Nothing, only silence. He continued walking deeper into the mansion. The walls were covered with faded paintings of people wearing black clothes. As he passed the first portrait, he noticed something strange. The woman in the painting was smiling. When he looked again, her smile had disappeared. His heartbeat quickened. He raised the flashlight. Every portrait in the hallway had changed. Now every person in every painting was staring directly at him. Then, blink. Every eye closed at the same time. Ethan stumbled backward. His camera slipped from his hand and crashed onto the wooden floor. When he picked it up and checked the recording, his blood ran cold. The camera had captured someone standing right behind him. A tall figure wearing an old black coat. Its face was hidden in darkness. But Ethan had been completely alone. Or so he thought. Without warning, footsteps echoed from the second floor. Slow, heavy, deliberate. Each step sounded closer than the last. Boom, boom, boom. Then they stopped. Complete silence returned. A red light suddenly appeared beneath a closed door at the end of the hallway. It was the only light inside the mansion. The same red light shone in the mysterious photograph. Ethan slowly walked toward it. As his hand reached for the rusty doorknob, a whisper drifted into his ear. "Don't open it, unless you want to know the truth." His hand froze. The whisper had come from directly behind him.